Good afternoon, June the 17th, 2016, and we're closing out a very, very hot week here in Wichita, Kansas. Heat index has been 105 to 110 the last 4 days and forecast to stay that way through the weekend, so we'll be spending a heck of a lot of time outdoors. Okay, we came into today's market on option expiration looking for a mathematical close at 20.62.5 to 65. We thought that given the call purchases yesterday, which were 2070s to 2085s, and the put purchases 2050s to 2060s, that we had a pretty good chance at closing it in the middle. And the last price right here you can see is 62.75. So our assessment was holding up and working out pretty true, and this was information we had in our hands early in the day. The first trade of the day was a mean green trade right here. Came just right before the opening, or this S. There was no trade on that S, and that was a 3-point trade. This S on a 3-minute chart was a scratch. This S on a 3-minute chart would be a loser for -3. This B could have made a point. Scratch. Mean green, another mean green trade. And you were short in the 64, 65 area, and we traded down to 56, so that could have been +8 or 9. No trade on that S, did not set up right, but we did talk about the first time you get to a value area low when the market is trending lower, a limit sell. That's not one of the prescribed trades, but it's one that we can take. And these two S's down here, pretty close to scratches. Buy, counter trend trade, plus. Any of these S's would have been a plus. Buy, counter trend trade, plus. So pretty choppy day, not a lot of follow through one way or the other. The market froze the puts, and the calls have kind of given up. Hell, I got 2070s. I'm either going to fill, make a little bit of money, or it's gone. And that's kind of the way people will play these on the on expiration day. So what do we see for Monday? We'll have more polls over the weekend that what Brexit is going to do or not do. And we got a higher low and a higher high. So off of this screen we can actually trade higher. On the F2 screen, D leaning P, so looking for a new move out of the 62 area, give or take. Well, if the market were to close right here, say at 62, we'd be selling 65s to 67.50s, sell 1. 70s to 72s, sell 2. On the buy side, 55s to 57s, buy 1. 50 to 52, buy 2. JP Morgan came out with a forecast. Brexit not passed. European stock markets rally 10 to 15%. Brexit, England, UK leaves the EU, 20-25% correction, which would probably take the United States markets with it too. Okay, next week is auction week, 2, 5, and 7 years. I think the first auction is on Monday, the 2-year. That should be supportive, so we'll come into Monday's market planning on buying into weakness. Looking at today's action, lower high, lower low, F1 says sell it. The F2 screen is going to definitely say sell it too. So my guess is we're going to probe lower in London. We'll come into a market that's a little lower on Monday, and got to figure out where to buy it. So like to get it done as close to 21 as possible, but 21.25, depending on what happens with the E-mini, is buy 1. 13 to 17 is buy 2. No news on Monday. On the south side, 31s to 03s worked out pretty well today, and 7 to 11. Probably will prefer, depending on what goes on, the rest of the markets prefer the long side on Monday. Looking at the 30-year. Okay, 12 to 16 is number 1. 19 to 23, sell 1. 27 to 31, sell 2. On the buy side, guess the buck to 04. 25, 29, buy 1. And 17 to 13, buy 2. Gold, up and down today, did not break. Looking at the F1 screen, lower than we were yesterday. Lower high, lower low. It can be sold. Again, I think if 1300 holds, it should be sold. There's not a lot of magic there so far. Looking at the day session, move out of the middle, put all this back together. It's still leaning B if we don't do an H split. On an H split, we might be trading higher. So. First trade's 99 to 01. And 5 to 7 for sell 2. On the buy side, 90, 92. 85, 87. This high pressure dome that we have, I think it's centered over Colorado and Utah right now, is certainly, but we normally get this in July. Typically this time of year we're 88 degrees, give or take a little bit, and been running 95 to 103 the last 4 days. So swimming pools get a lot of action this weekend. It's gotten so warm here that there are warnings because of a certain type of algae that you can't go wading, you can't go fishing, you can't go water skiing in these lakes because you can get sick in that kind of water. And that's just because it's too darn hot for this time of year, and we're not getting the rains that we normally get in June either. Something always changes, right? And that's, it's interesting, and we have to deal with it daily, that we don't ever quite have exactly all we want or everything we think that we need, yet we have to perform. And we see governments and agencies out there that plan for all this stuff, and it's never quite a scenario that they've envisioned. But then they turn around and think that they can predict the future, and it's just, if they open their eyes and look at what they actually had to do in their jobs, they know they're not able to do that. Higher low, higher high in crude favors higher prices. We said the real break in the market's in that 49 area. The high volume numbers in that 49.35 area produced a reasonably good trade. And looking at our F2 screen today, this was the limit sell early. In that 48.30, 48.32 area. We've got a new distribution up. There was a spike on the close. The market is short on a multi-day basis coming into today's 227 closing bar. Our rally during the day normally if the market hadn't been heavily sold, would produce a break in that bar to the downside as people dump their length. But because of this, I guess that's the reason we rallied. So we've got a 75 to 49 sell one with a single print up here at 37.25 to 50 sell two. Get through that, we're headed back up above 50. That'll screw with everybody's 9. 48 and a quarter by one. 47.50, 47.75 by two. I think we're going to get some good action next week in the euro, at least into the 23rd's Brexit decision or not. I think most people are playing, I certainly would be, that they're not going to leave. Too much change, too much uncertainty to interject into the situation. People don't like change. Look at how you fight change. You keep trading a lousy or flawed methodology just because you're comfortable with it. And that's the way the market should behave, right? Until your account no longer allows you to do that. Okay, higher low, higher high on the euro, maybe a little higher. Don't get too excited about that. But if we come in on Monday and the Brexit polls show that there's no chance of happening, I imagine we will be a little bit higher. Seller basically in the 13.25 area. So 25 to 35 sell one, 50 sell two. On the buy side, I was hoping for 75s. Let's rotate down, so 90 to 113 even by one. 70 to 80 by two. More comfortable being short the euro than long. Just because that's what Big Mario wants. And who's going to go against Mario, right? The markets. And that's it for June the 17th, 2016. Y'all have a happy Father's Day weekend. I will see you bright and early Monday morning. I'm out of here.